Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Bye Bye Girls podcast. I'm here with Becca again this week, and we have a pretty interesting topic for you in mind, I think. This weekend, which is why we haven't posted a podcast in a week, we got lazy, but also I was at EDC for the last 4 days. For those of you who don't know what EDC is, it's the Electric Daisy Carnival. It's in Las Vegas, Nevada, and it happens every year. It's a lot like Coachella. But it's all EDM artists. And I went to this, and when you go to EDM festivals, raves, whatever you want to call them, you tend to wear not much. So I went the first day I wore like a plastic thing, and I ended up taking it off and just putting electrical tape over my nipples and wearing little tiny bottoms. And day 2 I went and I wore a see-through bralette with pasties underneath. They're glow-in-the-dark daisies, and these little spandex oil spill booty shorts. And I remember I was dancing in the crowd, and we were up near the front of the auditorium, whatever, right next to the stage pretty much. And I'm with my boyfriend and our friend Sean. And at some point I feel someone pressing into me, which isn't that crazy in a crowd that big. It's kind of expected. So I didn't think that much of it. And I noticed he was pressing on me harder and harder as the songs went on, to the point where I thought he might be reaching into my backpack and trying to steal my shit. So I kept whipping around like, do I need to fight somebody? Like, what's happening? And there's just this like massive 250-pound burly ass muscular dude, probably 35, 40 years old, standing behind me with both hands covering his crotch, pressing into me from behind. Gosh. So in between songs, I grab Ryan by the shorts and I pull him to the other side of me. So it's me, Ryan, this dude now. This dude, no fucking shame, doesn't even wait a minute, steps behind Ryan to come back behind me.
Oh my gosh.
And I turned around and I said, "What the fuck are you doing? Don't follow me. Get the hell out of here." And Ryan was like ready to throw down when he realized what was going on. And the guy just kind of went, "I'm just here to have a good time." And he walked away. And that wasn't really that bad. It was kind of whatever. Just the thing that happened, it kind of scared the shit out of me for a hot sec, but recovered. Come home Monday night, talked to my dad for a while, just talking to him about the carnival and whatever. It was really fun. And then I start telling him about the incident. And my dad looks at me and he goes, "Well, what were you wearing?"
Oh.
And then he proceeds to give me a talk about how if I'm wearing very little clothing, I can't expect men to control themselves, and I should protect myself by wearing basically as much clothing as possible. I think his exact words were, "Men biologically can't control themselves."
I don't like that. I do not like that. We shouldn't have to limit our lifestyle to accommodate men and their dirty minds.
Right, so today we want to talk about, can men biologically control themselves? What evidence is there to either side of the argument? And what's the history of this? So I guess my first question for Becca, for you is, have you experienced something like this?
I mean, I've had a few. Me and a couple of friends go to Rocky Horror Picture Show on some Saturday nights. Mm-hmm. And there was one time, and at Rocky Horror you wear essentially nothing, slutty stuff, and that's kind of the theme of Rocky Horror. And we're walking across the street, and there were 2 men in a truck. And they're about to turn the corner, but we're standing on the corner waiting to cross. And they stop their car in the middle of the corner, in the middle of the intersection, and just start looking at us. Their windows are rolled down, they're looking at us, and we're just like pushing, go, 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 go,
just
go.
Just staring? Was there a stop sign? Anything?
No stop sign. It was a green, and they stopped just to stare at us.
Ew. And then I think you mentioned something about Walmart earlier?
I go to school in West Phoenix, so it's a little ghetto there. And there was one time, first of all, whenever I go to the Walmarts, I always get stared at. Even if I'm wearing sweats and a shirt, I get stared at. But there was one time when I went with a few friends and we walked outside after our grocery shopping, and some dudes in a car were like, "Hey, like, want to hang out, want to come in, like they thought the car was all nice, and we're like, no, no, thank you. And then we started walking away, and then they started following us with their car.
Do you remember what you were wearing at that time?
I think I was wearing sweats and then a crop top, but I will admit I was not wearing a bra.
As you shouldn't.
As I shouldn't, but still.
Do you think the same two events would have happened if you'd been wearing something else?
I feel like for Rocky, yes, I do feel like if I was wearing something else, that wouldn't have happened. But at Walmart, definitely, I feel like it would have happened because me and a group of friends, and my other friends, I think, were wearing normal clothes like jeans and a t-shirt, and we still had the same incident.
Right.
Have you ever had any other encounters?
Not specifically that I can remember, but here's the thing: I know they happen all the time. Actually, no. Last night I drove through Taco Bell, and this weird ass creepy guy with like teeth rotting out of his mouth asked me if I wanted to go to his party.
That is so ghetto and so strange.
And I was wearing literally a t-shirt and jeans last night. I was a mess. My hair was up in a bun. It was 10 o'clock at night, and I said, no, bye.
Oh my gosh.
And I went home. Do you think clothing is what makes this happen?
I think that clothing is more of the setting factor. I think it's what kind of initiates some sort of stimulation in the male brain. I don't understand, but I do think that clothing is what starts it, for sure.
So do you think if I went out in a burqa, no offense to those who religiously wear burqas, I would get less harassment?
Yes, I agree. You would.
Less sexual harassment?
Yeah.
So do you think men biologically can't control themselves then? You should cover up?
I think that they biologically can't control themselves. However, I don't think we should accommodate them and have to cover up.
So you think a man can't restrain himself from saying something or doing something?
They have the thought, and that's what's biological.
Right, but they can decide what to do
Yes.
with that thought.
Correct.
So Ryan and I check out girls all the time. We completely objectify women. Typically when we're looking at someone, we go, nice ass, and then we look away. We acknowledge, and then we move on.
And appreciate.
We acknowledge, we appreciate, we move on. And if either of us is talking to a person, we don't try to, like, touch them or be nasty, you know? It doesn't work. So I'd argue that men biologically can't control the thought. They can't control if they maybe get an erection or something like that happens. But they can control if they're going to non-consensually touch a woman or harass her.
I absolutely agree.
And actually, if a man does touch you like that, even if he just grabs your boob, like something basic, it's sexual assault. It's a crime.
Absolutely.
It's crazy that people still are telling women that they should wear more clothing.
Well, when you are sexually harassed, are you ever fearful? Or
All the time. I get this crazy rush of adrenaline, and I feel like I react better than a lot of women in that my first instinct is to yell at someone and hit them in the fucking face and then run for the hills. I feel like a lot of women just ignore it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that guy the other night, honestly, I feel like if Ryan hadn't have been there, I might not have yelled at him. I might not have done anything, and something bad maybe could have happened.
So why do you think that men feel the need to come out and express some sort of want for women, especially when they're dressed a certain way?
I think it's because we tell them it's okay by doing nothing. How many times has a man yelled at you and you just walk on?
All the time.
All the time. We just walk on. We don't do anything. We don't make fun of them. We don't jab back because we're terrified. Terrified. Margaret Atwood, in fact, said, men are afraid that women will laugh at them, and women are afraid that men will kill them. Which I am. I'm terrified. Every time I have a close encounter with a guy like that, I think, don't yell at him. Don't do anything. You're going to get raped. You're going to get killed. Something's going to happen to you. Just go. Just get on your phone, call somebody, talk to somebody, like do something, but don't acknowledge. Mm-hmm. Don't engage.
Yeah. There's actually, this instance reminds me of, there's this one comedian on Netflix, her name's Eliza, I forget her last name, and she has a certain bit, and it's exactly about sexual harassment, and she says that whenever guys catcall or say, hey, baby, like, you looking good, and then girls say, fuck off, but then immediately we go, but what if he kills me, like, right away? And that's, like, exactly what happens, like, every single time if, like, our bark is, like, too big and we're gonna literally, like, get hurt because we fear for our lives.
And I feel like I'm blessed in that I am a big woman, like, height-wise, and just, like, shoulder width, everything. And I do work out, and I can defend myself if I need to. But most women can't say that. Men are superior physically to us. They're stronger than us. At the end of the day, if a man wants to do something and no one else is around to stop him, he can do whatever the fuck he wants.
So is that why you think that they do this? Like, what would you think is the reason why they do this, or why they think they can do this?
So according to Psychology Today, there was an article on why do men really assault women. And the number one reason was because they can, which is what I was just talking about. Men are physically stronger than women. In fact, Freud said, anatomy is destiny, and therefore men must be destined to dominate women. Second reason is that sex and violence are really closely linked. They have very similar undertones to them. In fact, they tend to intermix a lot, which is when you get things like BDSM or like people getting in a fight and then fucking, like hate fucking. They're very closely linked. They're both very primal and animalistic. So I think when we think of sex, we think, all right, let's be primal, let's be animalistic, let's go crazy. And some guys take that and they go, all right, I'm gonna be animalistic.
Oh, man.
I'm gonna do what I want.
There was actually, I was reading an article today for this, and I saw that there are actually a few, like, known reasons why men sexually harass. And one of the reasons was actually, they're kind of saying evolution. Let me see if I can find it. Well, first of all, like what you were saying, men do it to show their dominance and by undermining the female. So basically, hostile sexism is, like, one of the main reasons why they do it and why they think they can get away with it. And then the other one, this goes along with evolution. It can also be seen as a misunderstanding or miscommunication between the man and the woman. I don't know if that's really, I don't believe that, but it says, like, according to evolution, that's the reason why they do it as well.
You know, a thought just crossed my mind that I feel like rape counts and whatnot were drastically lowered in the past, especially in America. I'm not talking about third world countries, because there was this huge social no-no dynamic, you know. But now women have power. They have authority. They have brains, and I mean, they've always had brains, but they're using them more now. Women are accomplishing things, and I wonder if men feel threatened.
They could, and maybe, like, this is their way of kind of thinking that they're, like, slapping us back into place, you know?
Exactly, and it, you know, what's fucked up is it works.
Yeah.
You know, people who experience sexual assault cower for years, if not the rest of their life.
Absolutely. So why don't you think that we hear about men getting sexually assaulted?
You know, I did date a boy in high school who was molested as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
And he was really fucked. I mean, you knew him.
Yeah.
And it was crazy, but that's the only time I've ever come across it. It's greatly less common.
And that's my point, exactly.
Right, and if it does happen, it happens when they're kids. I don't think it really happens to grown men. A, because grown men are stronger than women, and B, because in order for a woman to rape a man, he has to be erect. So it's a lot more difficult.
That is true. Okay. Just slide in some Viagra, want some Gatorade.
I'm not saying it never happens,
Yeah.
but it's definitely rare and difficult.
Yeah. Especially a woman sexually harassing a man. But what about put away anything physical, but still
Just harassment?
just harassment,
Not sexual
catcalling,
assault?
grabbing asses, like, I never hear about that. I never
Because a guy
see
will
it.
whip around and hit you in the face. If
But we're ladies.
If you grab a strange man's ass from behind, he's gonna hit you. He's not gonna look at who you are.
That's true.
He's gonna think, fucking faggot, turn around and slap you in the face. So, it's not a good plan for you to try that anyway.
Yeah. Michael did say, though, that his coworker, who's, like, a year or two older than him, does, like, grab and slap his ass sometimes. And she knows that he has a girlfriend.
Wow.
Yeah.
How does he feel about that?
Honestly, I tell him go for it.
Really?
Yeah, I'm like, hey, like, go for it.
You
but
just want him to fuck someone else so you can fuck someone else.
that is so incredibly
True.
incorrect. No! I'm just open to new things.
Oh, yep.
But anyways, he says it's
Code.
He says it's unconsensual, so.
So it's not okay. But you see what we just did? Because he's a guy, we kind of like laughed about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just realized that we did that. Bat us. Slap us
We
on the
can't, like,
wrist.
take that shit seriously, and that's, like, such a big problem we're having.
I know, but if you told me that was happening to you at work, I'd be like, we're going to file a complaint, we're going to talk to police, we're going to do all this shit. But since it's happening to Michael, it doesn't matter,
Yeah.
which is sad.
This, like, goes into the category, at least for me, for, like, feminism. I mean, think about it. Like, this right here is, like, men and women being treated so unequally. Even in the case of they can sexually harass us, but we can't them. We laugh at Michael, but no one would laugh at us just because of our gender.
Right. So there's an odd kind of push and pull there where it comes into gender expectations. where
Definitely
it's
a
like-
double standard.
Yeah, so everyone wants to take advantage of women, but also protect women at the same time. It's this
Yeah.
weird conflict. And at the same time, men want to dominate, but they have no protection. So we're both fucked.
Yeah.
Men and women are fucked in completely different ways. Men have nobody and women have everybody, but everybody takes every shot they can.
Ugh. Yeah, absolutely true.
So back to the clothing thing.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think we should be trying to protect men from feeling these biological feelings, having this lust?
Absolutely not. You know, it's their problem, it's not ours. I think that it's such a shame that we're the ones who have to limit ourselves in our lifestyle to accommodate them. And that's what just very much upsets me. If they can't handle it, don't go outside.
Right. So women are sexual creatures too. In fact, I'd say women are biologically probably more sexual than men. And I'll follow it up with this, because evolution kind of shows that the way the male penis is designed, so you have this like bulbous head, and the reason it is that way is it's a hook shape to like suck out the other man's cum who just fucked you. Because women are not naturally like monogamous, they're not any of that. We've kind of been brainwashed into being it. But were we to just roam in the wild, women would get fucked by whoever, and a man would have to so that he could be the father, basically. That's why the penis is biologically that shape. So women are more sexual than men, and we do fine. Like we don't grab people because there's a punishment in place there. If we grab somebody, if we say something, we're gonna get beat up. We're gonna get whatever.
Yeah.
Men have more power there.
It's definitely like a dominance thing and like putting us in our place, which is just so disappointing.
Right. So it's saying that women should dress modestly, sheltering men. It feels like a shelter to me. It feels like going, oh, you poor baby, here's an ice pop, you know?
You know what thought I was having earlier? I feel like this is totally just me thinking, us being told as daughters to dress nicely and not as revealing for men, it kind of makes me think maybe it could have come from our parents, like parents as parents, and how they don't want us going outside and they don't want us to be looked at. So we always get the slap of, like what you got the other day, don't wear things inappropriately because that's what's going to cause you to get hit on.
Right. Ultimately, it comes from a good place, I think.
Absolutely.
They just want to protect us, but at the same time, you're just fucking the future of womankind. Because you're kind of enabling it. You're saying, we'll cater to this. We'll just, you know, as opposed to women as a whole saying, nah, and just dressing how we want. Do you think dressing immodestly is empowering?
I think it is empowering.
Why?
Because we get to do what we want. Awesome. Fuck it. Let's wear what we want. Let's do what we want. Who gives a shit who's looking? However, I think it's terrible and it's disappointing that dressing however we'd like, immodestly, is empowering. I don't think that's how it should be. I don't think that should be deemed empowering.
Have you ever tried cross-dressing? No, I don't think you have, right?
Not full on.
Not
no.
full on. So, I cross-dressed for 2 years, right?
Yes.
Straight.
Yes.
So, I actually have an interesting perspective here because I only wore men's clothing for 2 years of my life, while I was in high school, no less. So, the height of men dickwads.
Mm-hmm.
And I received 0 negative attention, pretty much.
Dang.
I know. I don't think I can remember a single time where I was catcalled or hit on or groped that whole year that I didn't, want to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And most of it, almost all of it was with women. So, but yeah, I wore men's clothing. I had a male haircut, and I did not experience any negative attention. So I guess there is something to be said for modesty, but I wonder if we should stop classifying it as modesty, as this special thing that women should do, and just accept that maybe cross-dressing is okay, maybe dressing how you want to and feel comfortable to is okay.
Well, absolutely.
Because I feel like men should also have the freedom to be immodest, and they don't. When do you see men rocking the paint-on booty shorts and whatever? You don't. Men have this great luxury that they don't have to wear shirts. Big fucking deal. Usually that's paired with long-ass shorts or, pants,
Yeah.
You never see a man in little shorts and no shirt having the time of his life, Because I guess he doesn't have to impress other men, unless he's gay. But if he's gay, he's wearing all the things I just mentioned. So.
Yeah.
But, do you think so right now your wardrobe consists of a lot of crop tops
Yeah, thanks for
and little shorts.
the nice reminder. I don't wear that many shorts.
Oh, well, you did in high school.
In high school, okay, that was high school.
In high school, you wore short shorts. And
now it's leggings. We've
crop
moved
top.
on.
All right, leggings and a crop top. Do you think you would dress differently if you were a man? Same mind, same hormone balance, everything. You wake up and you have a penis.
Oh. I'd wear something. I'd definitely wear something different that would accommodate. However, I would still dress the way I do just for fuck's sake and for the fun of it.
I kind of believe you, but I also kind of don't.
What, you think I'd wear what I have in my closet?
No, I think you might start dressing like a man.
No way. I'd be a very feminine man.
If you became a man, you might start dressing like a gay man where you have a lot of patterns and colors and things happening, but I don't know if you'd keep dressing in crop tops and sweatpants.
I've seen boys and men, younger men, in crop tops and leggings, and it actually looks kind of nice and trendy.
Really?
Yes. I have, and I like it, and I'd try to go for that first because honestly, men's clothing is so untasteful for the most part.
Gasp. Offended.
I'm sorry.
Offended.
Where do I go for some fashionable men clothing?
How hot of a dyke was I?
You were good.
Good.
You're good.
That's it?
Yep.
Really?
Yeah. But also one reason why I didn't like it, I didn't like the buzz that you had.
This is pre-buzz cut.
Oh, pre-buzz.
Pre-buzz cut. I buzzed my hair a couple years ago, but I was also dressing pretty femininely at the time. That's the time I met Ryan.
Mm-hmm.
I met Ryan when I had a shaved head, which is why I love him, because who could love a woman with a shaved head other than Ryan?
And then...
I actually remember I shaved my head to shut men up.
Really?
Yeah, I forgot about this. So I was sitting in church one day, and my parents make me go to singles ward. I was raised Mormon, and singles ward is basically, I call it marriage roulette. Because even though I'm 19, and everyone else in there is around the same age, they're all trying to get hitched as fast as they can because they've never had sex, and they're horny as shit, and they have to do something about it. But they're religious, so they can't just go get laid and just rub it out, They can't even masturbate.
I was about to say, go to the fucking sex store, but...
Nope, I can't do that. So I remember I was sitting in church just minding my own damn business, watching American Horror Story on my phone in the middle of church, like I do. And this guy comes and sits up next to me, and he proceeded to sit next to me and talk to me kind of weirdly for the next 2 or 3 Sundays. And then the next Sunday I show up with a shaved head, and he didn't talk to me ever again.
That is awesome.
I know. But, I was getting all this attention all of a sudden because I'd had boys' hair for the last 2 years, and then it kind of grew out, and I had shoulder-length hair, and I was so over the attention.
Mm-hmm.
Over it. And I feel like a lot of girls can't do that. They just kind of dress less and less until it's the same. But yeah, they can't. A lot of women don't have the confidence to do something like shave their head, desexualize themselves, basically.
Yeah.
As a woman, so much of our identity is placed in sexuality.
That's very true. Speaking of, there was actually an article that I read earlier today, and it was talking about how sexual harassment has kind of been normalized. And it's been normalized in a sense of ads. When you see ads, 50% of them are, not 50%, but out of all the ads, women are portrayed as sex objects in 50% of ads. And as well as that, you see movies, for instance. You always see more of a woman than you do a man.
Whenever I see a dick in a movie, I'm really not that straight, but I get so stoked just because they showed a dick in a movie.
But then tits, no big deal.
How often do they show, like, vaginas, too, in movies?
I've seen...
In rated R movies?
Maybe one or two.
Yeah, but it's way more than you see dicks.
Absolutely. I don't think I've seen a dick in a movie. I think the closest I've gotten was in 50 Shades when Christian undid his pants and you saw a little girth. You saw like pube and a little girth. That's it. And it was ridiculous. And as well as that, in porn.
Come on, man. Show us your dicks.
Yeah. And also in porn, it's the women are just, I feel like there's an accessory.
Men are always wearing a shirt or some shit, too. Like, the woman is always dead-ass naked with some socks on.
Not to mention half the time, the head of the male is like,
ugly. No.
no, it's tuned out. You know, like I've seen
What?
some porn. Yeah, I've seen it.
What kind of porn are you watching?
I don't fucking know. I've seen like just a few where the male's face is blurred out or like not shown on the camera.
Oh, that's really weird.
Yeah.
Maybe it's like point of view or something. I don't know.
know.
Let's not go into it. But yeah, women are totally sex objects in porn. I just wish I love porn. You can't. I love it. Like, I'm not even a porn hater. I'm a porn addict. But I wish it were a little more real. A little less...
That's like, that could be a turnoff sometimes if I'm not in the mood and I just want to watch some good, like, fucking, like, this stupid fake shit. It really gets on my nerves.
I was thinking about this today because I've been watching the new season of 13 Reasons Why, which I kind of want to do our next podcast on, or one of the next podcasts
I'm halfway through episode 2.
Okay. But, yeah, so there's a lot of kind of sex scenes in this season. But I was thinking about it, like, even just watching a movie where it's kind of leading up, things are getting hot and heavy, they're kissing, they're laying on the bed, way hotter than porn.
Absolutely.
Way hotter. Because here's the thing, is it's believable.
And it's more sentimental, at least for me.
Sentimental. Sometimes I do love the, like, gangbang.
The hard shit.
Cream pie, hard shit.
Yeah.
But there's no balance, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
There's no... And the production quality is shit on the ones where it's like, we're in love.
And also, 9 out of 10 times after I watch, like, a cute lovey-dovey, like, sex scene in, like, a movie, 9 out of 10 times, I'll, like, text Michael booty call.
Oh, my God.
But then whenever I watch porn, like, 2, maybe 3 out of 10 would ask for booty call. Because it just doesn't...
It's not as good.
I want, like, the love stuff. I want the good stuff. I don't want this hard shit that I'm seeing where... like, on the girl's part.
What's crazy is I think a lot of men would agree. Not to ban the hard stuff completely, but to have more of a balance.
Yeah.
To have... Because sometimes you just want to be fucked like that, too. Like, regardless of porn.
Absolutely.
You're like, all right. Because we are animals, and sex is the place where taboo things in society come out to play. But, you know, when you're watching it and you're by yourself and you have some self-respect and you're not so turned on, you can't think straight. You're kind of like, nah. I don't like it.
Yeah, no.
So I kind of learned about a weird little interesting tidbit today while I was researching for this. I was just kind of reading this article on like sexism and women's clothing through the centuries and whatnot. And, you know, even 100 years ago, you couldn't not wear a dress. You had to wear a dress. There, no pants for you. And it was kind of always that way where men needed to be mobile. Their clothing was more for functional purposes, and women's clothing was for
pretty.
It's pretty. Yeah. Basically, women's clothing signified that they were sexually mature and ready to take a mate. That's about it.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was reading about this trend that they had. Basically, women didn't wear underwear for a long time. They just kind of had a bunch of skirts all wound about.
I wouldn't want that rubbing
I know,
together.
isn't that crazy?
That fucking kills me.
Oh my god. But 19th century, they decide, nah, done with that. And they make pantaloons, the classic roughly trouser type underwear that you see in like a movie.
Mm-hmm.
And they come out with this. And over the next 10 years or so, everyone kind of decides this is way too masculine. Way too, it's not feminine enough. It's not sexualized enough, basically. So what women do is they have to wear now crotchless panties, essentially. So what they do is they take the same pantaloons, more or less, but they cut out the whole crotch section, so it's 2 leg tubes tied to a waistband. Like, what the fuck's even the point? But yeah, I thought that was, like, kind of ridiculous. And it talked about how wearing that type of underwear was a sign that you were sexually ready. You're ready to get married and get with somebody.
Mm-hmm.
But men do like access, even when women are very modest.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of women wore something similar to that while having sex, because women were supposed to only view sex as something for procreation purposes.
Yeah.
It was shameful for a woman to kind of take pleasure in it. Do you see any trends like that today?
In porn.
In porn? You see crotchless panties in porn?
Yes.
Yeah, me too.
Also in like all the sex stores. Crotchless panties.
Okay. So it's a
For
key.
the same thing, easy access, you know?
Right. I'd also argue that kind of skirts are for easy access even now.
I always wear booty shorts under skirts, so that's a negatory for me.
Really?
Yes. I don't want my shit flowing in the wind.
Oh, if I'm wearing a skirt, there's a solid chance I'm not wearing underwear.
Really? You just want the whole free access.
I'm a kinky hoe, though. It's more because I'm like, tee-hee, I'm not wearing underwear.
I never wear dresses or skirts, and whenever I do, it's always on a fucking windy day.
Oh my god.
Like, fuck me in the ass, like, no.
I have that all the time where I'm not wearing underwear and it's a windy day and I'm like, here now. I think bras are a lot of that, though. I think bras are the modern crotchless pantaloon.
Really?
And here's why I think this. I think this because bras are really unnecessary. In fact, it's been kind of scientifically researched that bras are bad for you. They kind of pull your titties down. They make them not as youthful, you know. And they're more than that. They're uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But they feminize our breasts, which is a ridiculous, ironic statement. But they feminize our breasts. They push them up together, give them a better shape, and that's not for us unless you have extremely large breasts, in which case, have a fucking ball.
Wait, you're right.
But
That is totally fucking true. I never thought of it like that.
They're not
Literally, the push-up bra, what fucking good is that doing for us?
It doesn't do any good
None.
for us.
Dang. You just give me a little mind explosion. Never thought of it like that.
Bras don't do any good for you unless you're above a double D.
And that is why I don't wear a bra. I don't fucking need it. You see my titties? I don't give a shit.
But
That's
you're-
my body.
But here's the thing, is like you kind of don't really work. I work at a law firm, and to some extent I have to be professional.
Mm-hmm.
But I do have a no bras on the weekend rule for myself because it's almost shameful for me to go out when I'm not wearing a bra. I feel self-conscious. I feel like I don't look right. But at the same time, I feel like it's important for me to do that.
Yeah.
It's important for me to not wear a bra, to be myself and be in my body.
Mm-hmm.
But that's something completely imposed upon us, probably from men, or at least pressure from our fellow women to look a certain way.
Yeah.
But I'd say it started with men.
Absolutely.
So now we have this. It's crazy. We get brainwashed into doing this shit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to buy my fucking 13-year-old daughter a bra. It's never happening. A training bra. What the fuck is that?
There's no training for your tits,
There's
sorry.
no training. You get a bra when you're a double D. Or when you choose to buy one your damn self.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm kidding. If my daughter wanted a bra, I'd buy her a bra. But I wouldn't be like, time for training bras.
Jeez.
Did you ever have to go through that?
I did, but I didn't call them training bras, and it was literally just like a cup padding. Like it was like a little sheet. It was very flat, and it just went over the little titties.
It's like a sports bra almost, like a cotton, like looser
This one
sports
wasn't.
bra.
It was like shaped like a bra. It had like purple stars on it, and it was white.
Oh, wow, you remember so specifically.
It's because I wanted to wear a bra forever, and I think it was like 4th or 5th grade. I definitely did not need a fucking bra, but I was like, training bra.
I remember my mom bought me a ton of training bras, and I never wore them. I was like, fuck that shit. I put it on once, and I was like, why would anybody do this? But I remember when my mom took me shopping for training bras, and I remember how just like ashamed and embarrassed I was. Did you feel anything like that?
I don't know. I was
may
just like,
not have.
it's time, you know, like that's how I felt.
Right.
It seemed like normal.
I was
to need a
raised
bra.
a lot more religious than you were, though,
Absolutely.
which I think had something to do with it. I was told from basically a very young age to be ashamed of my body and to be modest, and I was yelled at when I wore a tank top or shorts, basically.
Yeah.
Shorts had to, like, touch your knee, which is just a fucking 6 inches away from a capri. Shut the hell up.
It's
But-
not even a short.
Not even shorts. They do nothing. But yeah, I remember going and feeling so ashamed. And I've been thinking about it, and since when do men feel ashamed going to buy boxers as kids, you know?
Never. It's an essential for them.
They're like, oh my god, I want Spider-Man.
I don't know why. I totally feel like this is like a sexualized thing, because even like underwear, I got so embarrassed. My mom would like buy like the 6-pack of underwear, and I'd be like, Mom, and she's like, what, you need underwear? And I'm like, I'm embarrassed. Like, why the fuck would I be embarrassed for underwear?
Do you remember us at like 14, 15, obsessed with just buying thongs and
Yes.
lacy underwear and stuff? I feel like that was wrong. Like, that wasn't quite right. You know what I mean? Like, there was this kind of thing imposed upon us. Because I know even now I'm not a big thong fan and everything. I know you are. You've always been a thong advocate. But
It was nice.
yeah. But, like, at the time, I felt like, well, looking back on that time, I feel like it was definitely something that a 14 or 15-year-old girl probably shouldn't be doing.
It's because we wanted to
naturally.
be these sexual women.
And we were really sexual from a young age.
Yes,
We both
agreed.
lost our virginity at, like, what, 15?
15.
15. And I feel
That's
like,
fucking young.
I know,
I
looking
think
back-
about it and I'm like, girl, like, fucking at least wait until sophomore year, please, for the love of God, thank you.
I waited till sophomore year.
Yeah, whatever.
But I'm a young 15.
I also had like a dick, like, whore as my first boyfriend. I was 10 out of 10 pressured into everything. I would go as far as saying that a lot of what we did was unconsensual.
Really?
Yes, I would. The first time I ever gave him a handy, I didn't want to. And he kept pulling my hand, kept pulling my hand, kept pulling my hand. I don't want to, kept pulling my hand, kept pulling my hand.
Do you know where
and
he
I gave
lives?
up.
Can we egg his house?
I don't know where the fuck he lives. And then the first time, blowjob, I didn't want to. He kept pushing my head down, pushing my head down, pushing my head down, and I did not want to do it.
And that comes back to, I'd argue that's male harassment.
Yeah.
If not straight up sexual assault. It is sexual assault.
It
What am I
is.
saying?
But I was a kid, you know what I mean? And I was like, oh, it's my first boyfriend. Like, this is what he wants. This is what it means to be
and
a girlfriend.
it's his responsibility to take your no.
And he didn't. And I didn't even realize until like years later, like half of it was unconsensual. I said no to everything the first time, and he did it anyways.
Right. I actually, like, don't ever talk about this, and I might ask you to take it out. But my senior year of high school, I was sexually assaulted.
Really?
Yeah, it was kind of crazy. I went over to this guy's apartment, and I don't know. He got me, like, really, really, really drunk. I think he might have drugged me. So, yeah, it was kind of crazy. But, like, it happens to, what, 1 in 4 women?
1 in 4. I think it's 1 in 4, 1 in 6, something like probably 1
I
in
think it's 1 in 4.
I think it's 1 in 4 too.
It's crazy common, and it's something that we don't talk about enough.
Yeah.
And it's something that when you bring it up, people kind of denounce it. It's normal, you know? And I feel like I've handled it a lot better than most people because I've always been a sexual person. I've always been, I mean, my first relationship was kind of a massive shit show, so I was very emotionally prepared for more shit show.
Mm-hmm.
But there are women who aren't, and they can't handle it. And men should be expected to fucking control themselves, especially
Yeah.
since I was wearing a t-shirt and jeans then too.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like I came over like, do me, you know.
Mm-hmm. My sister's actually been sexually assaulted twice.
Twice.
Once when she was 12, and then once I think when she was 18, maybe 19.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
See, it happens to like almost everyone. You talk to somebody and it's happened to them.
And that's
you know?
unfortunate. You always, if not you, you know someone or multiple people.
I can think of at least 5 people off the top of my head who
Yeah.
I know very closely now, even who've
Absolutely.
been sexually assaulted or molested or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It just happens to everybody, and I don't think it has anything to do with our clothing.
No, absolutely not. A 12-year-old, no. My sister, she was covered up. She was a little sketched out by the guy, and she just went over because she was angry at another situation.
It's got nothing to do with what you're wearing. Men 100% can control themselves because we are all human beings with free will and agency.
Mm-hmm. And those who say it's a mental illness, I don't buy it. I think that's bullshit. People say, oh, they can't control themselves.
I'd say they're sick.
Absolutely.
I wouldn't say it's necessarily, well, you know, maybe they can't control themselves, but in that case, don't be afraid to tell on them.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to tell somebody that this thing happened, because if you don't, the next woman won't either, and there will be a next woman.
Mm-hmm.
And it's your responsibility to tell somebody that this thing has happened. And it's your responsibility, if this happens to you, to make sure that that person gets consequences and gets help.
Yes.
And I think we'll leave it there.
Absolutely.
All right, guys. Check out our YouTube channel, Bye Bye Girls, our website, also Bye Bye Girls. We have a new podcast up every Friday, starting now.
And Becca will post something having to do with her soy allergy.
A blog?
Yes, it'll be a
Ooh.
blog about my very complicated allergy list.
I will probably write a blog about this subject that we're talking about right now, but I'll probably go
Beautiful.
into different details about it. But yeah, check out our website. Definitely give us a like and a subscribe on YouTube so we can see who likes us. Anyway, bye bye, girls.
Thank you.